Good morning. My name is Galen, and today we're going to take a look at Matthew chapter 2. Now, again, I'm not going to read the Bible outright. I'm going to read it beforehand and kind of look at it real good and think about it. Take a little walk with my dog and think about it, and then we'll come back and I'll make comments on what I got out of it, and hopefully you can do the same. So basically, chapter 2 talks about the wise men and how they had seen this star and followed a star to Israel to find this prophesied king who was going to be the Messiah. And, it's kind of interesting is somehow these wise men who weren't from that area, they were somewhere else, they knew about this. And so they were looking for it. And when it happened, they followed that. And then went on. Hey, what are you doing, little baby? Huh? Well, come here. Anyhow, that's my granddaughter. So she likes to make a lot of noise. Come here. Where you at? Come here. Come on up here. Come up here. I'm looking in right there. See that little camera right there? Yeah, you can point too. That's you right there. Anyhow, so the wise men, they brought baby Jesus, or they were looking for baby Jesus, and that's basically what they did. And so they knew to follow that star, and they did that. But the thing is they went to Herod, and in that process, Herod was going to go out and try to kill baby Jesus. And then he sent them, they ended up sending them to Bethlehem, in which they took off and told them, come back and let us know. But they never went back. And then he had commanded that Herod had stated that he was going to kill all those little babies in Bethlehem and along the coast. And there you go. There you go. Bye. 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 Hey, LaFay. Anyhow, so that's basically what Herod did. He's going to kill those babies, and he did. And he killed them in Bethlehem and then on the coast. And what's interesting is the wise men were told to take off in a dream to head back to Jerusalem, or head back to where they came from, but don't go over to Herod. And so that's what they did. But they heard it in a dream. And then Joseph also in a dream heard that he should he should get out of there and go to Egypt. And that's what he did. And so he went to Egypt, and there were a lot of babies killed. Isn't it terrible how politicians and people are willing to kill babies to gain their own political power? It's kind of sad. It happens. It's happened all through history. Happened in the time of Moses. And it happened in the time of Jesus, and it's probably happened more times than that. But anyhow, it's just a terrible, terrible thing. These little kids, they have to suffer. But anyhow, so I just, and then when Joseph was in Egypt, he had another dream when Herod died to come back, and he did. And in the process of coming back, he got to thinking about it and realized that he's got to be careful because Herod's son had taken over. So he went to Nazareth, which fulfilled prophecy that the Messiah would be born in Bethlehem and be a Nazarene. And so, God always works things out for his way, and he always knows what's going to happen before they happen. Obviously, it's all this is in the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. I just find it interesting that reading this, God was using different ways to communicate to these people. He was used with the wise men. He obviously used a sign, and somehow they knew that. They knew how to follow that sign, and they weren't from there. They were somewhere else, but God was able to pass that down from generation to generation. We see that in other cultures as well, where people, they have these little prophecies that kind of come true. But anyhow, and then again, he used the dream to tell Joseph. But the other thing is, you think Joseph, here he is. I really think about this. Here he is. He's given a great blessing. He's going to raise this baby. He's going to raise this child who's going to be King of Kings. What a great man to have that honor to be able to do that. But God didn't give him anything extra along the way. He had to kind of suffer. I mean, he had to take off and go to Egypt, and heck, they didn't even have a really good place for the baby to be born. And it kind of goes to show you, sometimes you might have the greatest blessing of all. Doesn't mean you're going to get a lot of goodies along the way. God doesn't guarantee you're going to get goodies. He doesn't guarantee you're going to be rich or have all kinds of great things in life. But the honor of being able to do the calling that he did was a greater gift than anything he could have possessed as being a human on earth. He's going to live in glory forever and ever with that honor. And I think that's pretty good. I'd rather have that too. I mean, that's storing up your treasures in heaven. Anyhow, I really like Joseph. I think a lot of him. For me, when I want to be like somebody, I really enjoy him because he was just a man that stumbled along, and God used him, and he was a father, and he was a carpenter, and there was a reason why God picked a carpenter to raise his son. Every carpenter I know is a good man, and I like doing carpenter work myself. When you're doing it, you really get close to God. You really do. We're made in the image of God, and when you're building something, you think like that, you really do. So anyhow, I really like Joseph. I really do. So anyhow, so that's kind of what I got out of Matthew chapter 2. Hopefully you got something more, or maybe the same thing. You can leave comments down below and like it if you like my little video, and you can always subscribe. That would be good too. Anyhow, we're gonna move on to chapter 3. So we'll see you on chapter 3.